Let's talk about something really tough, co-parenting. Specifically, when it feels less like a partnership and more like you're navigating a minefield. The whole point of this explainer is to give you a roadmap, a way to get from that constant feeling of conflict to a place where you feel clear-headed and back in control.
Does this feel familiar? You're basically walking on eggshells all day, every day, just waiting for the next blow up. Your stomach literally drops every time a text from them comes through. You feel like you're stuck in this loop of explaining, justifying, and defending yourself, and it is just so exhausting. If you're nodding along right now, trust me, you are not alone. And what we're about to go through is a framework to help you make sense of it all.
Okay, so the very first thing we have to do, and this is absolutely crucial, is to draw a line in the sand between normal, everyday conflict and something totally different, coercive control. Think about it this way. Normal conflict is a disagreement, sure, but you can usually work it out without being afraid. Coercive control, that's not about the issue at hand. It's a system. It's a repeating pattern of behavior that's all about gaining power over you, using fear, manipulation, and just grinding you down. Nailing this difference is really the first big step to changing the entire dynamic. So let's dive into our first section. We're calling this the diagnosis. Now, don't think of this as some kind of clinical thing. It's really just a tool for you, a way to get some clarity and see if what you're going through lines up with that pattern of control we just talked about. All right, let's walk through this little pattern test. As you look at these, ask yourself if they sound familiar. Number 1, you find yourself making decisions not based on what's right, but just to avoid a huge negative reaction. 2, anytime you try to set a simple boundary, you get punished for it, maybe with threats or a nasty email to your boss, or suddenly the child support check is lost. 3, it's not a one-off thing. It happens over and over, across everything, money, the kids' school, even just picking them up. 4, you're just always on the defensive, right? Always having to explain yourself. And number 5, and this is the most important one, you can see it's affecting your child. You see the anxiety, the pressure on them to choose a side. So when you look at all these together, does it start to paint a picture? Okay, so if you've identified the pattern, the next step is to recognize the playbook. We're going to pull back the curtain on the specific tactics that are used to keep that control going. Once you can name the moves, they start to lose their power to confuse you. First up are the tactics that are all about creating this constant cloud of fear and intimidation. It's not just about what they do, it's about what you're afraid they might do. The threats about custody or ruining you financially. Those out-of-nowhere explosions of anger, they're not random. They're designed to train you, to make you so scared of the next one that you'll just agree to anything. And this can even get into surveillance, making you feel like you're constantly being watched. This has nothing to do with a simple disagreement. It's all about making you feel unsafe and small. And of course, the tactics almost always zero in on the 2 areas you're most vulnerable, your kids and your money. This can look like trying to turn your child into a little spy or just making it impossible for you to talk to them. Financially, it's about pulling the rug out from under you, withholding money to keep you unstable, or even creating fake emergencies to try and get you in trouble at work. The goal is painfully simple. Use the things you love most as leverage to control you. Then you have the attacks on your communication and your reputation. You ever experience flooding? It's when your phone just blows up with 100 messages, all designed to create this feeling of chaos and urgency. And the flip side is stonewalling, right? Complete silence. They refuse to answer you, and then, somehow, they blame you for the breakdown in communication. It's maddening. And from there, it often expands outward with smear campaigns to isolate you from your friends, your family, even the very people who are trying to help you, like lawyers or therapists.
Now here's a term that is so important to know, DARVO. It's an acronym for Deny, Attack, and Reverse Victim and Defender, and it perfectly describes one of the most confusing and damaging tactics out there. Here's how it works. First, they deny they did anything wrong. Then, they attack you for even suggesting they did. And then, they pull the final move. They reverse victim and offender, flipping the whole story around so that they're the one who's been wronged and you're the bad guy. It is psychological judo, and it's designed to make you question your own reality.
Okay, that was a lot, I know. It can feel pretty heavy identifying all that. But now, we're making a hard pivot. We're moving from the problem to the solution. So let's get into our counter playbook, and we're going to start with the most powerful tool you have, your communication. This is all about learning how to respond in a way that is super low drama, but incredibly high credibility. And the absolute cornerstone of this toolkit is the BIF response. It stands for a brief, informative, friendly, and firm. Let's see how it actually works. So you get a text accusing you of something crazy. The old you might have argued. The new you just says, I disagree with that characterization. I am focused on the school pickup. Please confirm you will be there at 3 p.m. See that? No drama, just facts. Or you're getting flooded with messages. Instead of trying to answer all of them, you set a boundary. I will respond to one consolidated message daily. This isn't about trying to win the fight, it's about choosing not to get in the ring in the first place.
All right, the second piece of your counter playbook is your documentation system. Now, let me be clear. This isn't about keeping a diary of grievances. This is about creating a clean, factual, court-neutral record. This is how you take the narrative back from all the chaos and accusations.
And when it comes to documenting, there is one golden rule. Stick to the facts. Your credibility lives and dies by this. You want to write down the facts of what happened, the date it happened, the specific impact you observed on your child, and any evidence you have. What you want to avoid at all costs are emotional opinions, labels, or trying to diagnose them. Let the facts speak for themselves. That's where your power is.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. A super simple incident log. Just look at how clean this is. Date and time. The facts. Received 15 texts in 30 minutes. The observable impact on the child. Child became anxious hearing the phone. Your response? Replied via email with Biff. And the evidence? Screenshot of texts, Exhibit 1. You see how that takes a crazy-making emotional event and turns it into a clear, indisputable piece of data? This is how you build a case based on reality.
Okay, let's bring this all home with our final section. We've talked about how to respond in the moment and how to document what's happening. Now, let's get proactive. This section is the blueprint for actually redesigning your environment to reduce conflict and create more safety and predictability for you and your kid.
Look, when cooperation is just used as another opportunity for control, trying harder to cooperate is not the answer. The answer is to build a better system. This is often called parallel parenting. And the focus shifts from trying to force cooperation to just creating solid structure. You build airtight systems for everything. Exchanges are always at the same public place at the same time. Communication is only in writing. Both of you get direct access to the school and doctor portals, so nobody can play gatekeeper with information. This is not about giving up. It's about building strong fences so you can finally have some peace on your side of the yard.
So we're going to end with this question, which is really a call to action for you. After seeing all this, what is one small structural change you can actually put into motion this week? Maybe it's just telling them, from now on, I'll be communicating about logistics via email, or proposing a neutral public spot for exchanges. The goal here isn't to fix everything overnight. It's to take one small, powerful step toward building a more stable, predictable, and peaceful life for you and for your child.